I'm Rosh from Energy Matters. Welcome to our podcast, Road to Zero, where we dive headfirst into all things renewable. Join us as we chat with industry experts, tech specialists, and some of your favourite TV and radio personalities, asking the renewable energy questions that you want answers to. Our goal, a zero carbon future. Today, I'm absolutely delighted to be joined by Sam Hamzawy, Technical Solutions Manager at Sungrow Australia. Hello, Sam. How are you?
Hi, Roshan. Nice to see you. I'm doing great. How you doing?
I am very well, mate. Very well. We're well and truly into spring carnival season here in Melbourne, which generally means just catching up with lots of people over a drink. So it's a
Yeah, it's
continuation of
been
all
a week
energy.
for everyone. It's been a long 2 weeks for everyone, I guess, in the last couple of weeks. All energy, then, lots of
Look,
catch up.
it certainly has been. I mean, we'll talk about all energy in a short while, but it was absolutely fantastic. The best event of the year, one of the best events of the year. Not knocking any of our other great events that we attend as well. It was a lot of fun to catch up
Definitely.
with everyone, especially you guys. So lots
Thank
to
you.
talk about today.
It's a lot, I guess, I'm so excited to join you today, and thank you so much for hosting me and Sungrow for your show.
You are very welcome. So before we get stuck into Sungrow, I always like to know the man behind the operation. So tell me about yourself, Sam. Tell me about your renewable energy journey to date, and how did you get to Sungrow?
Okay, so it's quite a long story, but normally I would
You don't
say
have that
just,
long, so
to sum it up. Yeah, to sum it up, basically, I did my bachelor in science, and since the second year of uni, I knew what I actually wanted. I studied one of the subjects about renewable energy, and I said like, oh, that's what I'm gonna do for the next, for the rest of my life. So after that, I finished my bachelor. I did my Master of Science in Renewable Energy, and then after that, I did my PhD in solar energy, more specifically. And then, yeah, I worked after that. I decided to move to the industry, like more interesting, where I can touch things and I see things, see progress. So I worked for a few companies before. I wanted to, get more familiar with the industry, what the customer wanted, and what the end user really wanted. So I started working in sales to get myself familiar with the market. Then after that, I moved in the technical side. And now I work as basically the technical solutions manager at Sungrow Australia team.
man, that's fantastic. Putting that PhD to good use. What did you specifically focus on with your PhD? Because you have to pick kind of like almost a specific area, don't you? Then research the hell out of it.
Yeah, during my PhD, we actually I worked on kind of innovative technology so that we can improve the performance of the sunlight generation. So that most of the industry, most of the panels in the industry, they didn't really they don't really absorb much of sunlight. There are lots of energy that's being transmitted through the solar panels, basically. So what we did, we were trying to add another like layer basically, so that it can absorb as much sunlight as possible, and therefore we can increase the overall performance and efficiency of the system without going into too much technical details.
Mate, that's fantastic. And what had you join
Thank you.
Sungrow? I mean, obviously you worked at a few different places. You found Sungrow. I mean, what connected? What attracted you to them as a brand?
That's a really good question, actually. So, looking into the industry and see the volume market, so the volume of the market, Sungrow is basically the global leader in this field of solar inverter manufacturing. And as you can see, or maybe heard or read some, that Sungrow has 40% of its staff working in research and development, right?
Yeah.
So that's almost around 4,000 people, just for people who not really familiar with the number. 4,000 people, that's a huge number. And having said, Sungrow really having a really good customer service. They have a broad range of products. So they basically got everything that the customer is looking for, the end user, the solar installer, and the distributors. So the products itself is a very efficient products, like cost effective, And that's what basically everyone's looking for in the industry.
Which is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, when you consider 4,000 people globally working in research and development, I mean,
Yeah.
that it's a massive number as a team, full stop. But then you consider you've got
Yeah,
10,000
it's
people
like a city
globally.
by itself.
It is.
Small
I'd
city,
actually
I'll
love.
say.
I'd love to see it. I actually would love to see it. So
Yeah.
you have to get me out there one day. No, that's
It is,
fantastic.
it is, it is a huge, like, like everyone just, if you can just imagine the number, it's a huge number. And that's why Sungrow is the global leader in this industry. It's not only a company even that works in the solar inverters only. It works like for energy storage. We're going to be talking more about that, like,
We
during the
will. We
show. But it works in like energy storage, it works in wind energy, in hydrogen production, it works in like it also design and manufacture floating system for solar industry.
which is absolutely insane. I mean, on that, so first and foremost, whereabouts is Sungrow based? Is it in China?
So Sungrow is based in China, so that's where like the biggest R&D team as well as the manufacturing capability.
All right, fantastic. And
Yeah,
of course, I know you've installed a crazy amount of products. I mean, we are going to be deep diving in a short while about the different products that you have. But share with me some statistics because I remember when we were filming a TV show recently, and I was doing my
yeah,
research, and it's just astronomical the volume of product you guys have actually
it is.
installed, both inverters and now batteries. Can you share those stats?
Definitely, I'm more than happy to share the numbers because that's all about like, the customers want to know the numbers. So that's kind of affirmation for them why one of the affirmation why they should go, for example, with us rather than other manufacturers. So basically, Sungrow like globally is the first solar inverter manufacturer basically. So if you think about the number of or the total number of installed capacity, it is 405 as of July 2023. 405 gigawatt BV inverters and converters capacity installed worldwide.
Wow.
And if you're talking, yeah, it's a huge number. So just to make it simple for our audience, I think the total renewable energy number that's being installed in Australia until or estimated by the end of this year is almost only like 46 gigawatt. So you can imagine that number, how big it is.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
At the same time, if you're talking about the battery system as well, energy storage system, we have like around 5 gigawatt hour Sungrow solar batteries has been installed worldwide by 2023 or by July 2023 to be more specific.
That's absolutely huge. And when you consider, like, from a consumer's perspective, I mean, the narrative, the story, the conversations that we have with a lot of, consumers out there when they're questioning or querying, going, introducing battery storage to their homes or businesses, they're like, oh, look, I'm going to give it some time. Batteries aren't that popular right now. So, those statistics say the complete opposite because clearly the adoption of battery technology for storage is absolutely taking off and to have already got over 4 gigs like installed, it just says it all.
It is because maybe I don't know, maybe 10, 15 years ago, people were saying like, oh, but it's still very expensive. Like we can't really, it's not paying back in a short period of time. But looking at the electricity prices now, we are in Australia. See how much is it has been changing in the last few years. It's going astronomical to buy something from the grid, and it's still you're not like protected if there's a blackout or if there's like outage. So customer like start thinking of it logically, like I can buy my own solar system, I can buy my own like storage, and then in that case I wouldn't be worried if there is even like a blackout or outage or like any issue with the grid. And it's going to be saving them lots of money as well. So instead of maybe it used maybe some time ago, the payback time to be maybe around 10 years or 12 years, I think now the payback time can be around, let's say if you're having solar and battery, can be between 4 to 5 years, specifically with the feature of introducing the virtual power plants. and we have many of our partners who already partner with us that for this kind of feature. So instead, for example, the customer payback time is 5 years, that can shorten it up to 3 years, 4 years. So that's why
Yeah.
lots of people like starting installing a lot of batteries nowadays.
No, absolutely. I mean, if anyone that doesn't understand with a virtual power plant, I mean, essentially what you're doing is allowing your battery to discharge back into the grid
That's
during the key demand times. And there's a fair bit of control. It's not like it's happening all the time. It may only hit you may only have maybe about 4 to 10 events a year. But when those
Yep,
events happen, you're getting paid a significant amount of money for the electricity you're actually
correct.
shipping back into the grid, not your standard rubbish feeding tariff. So
That's
it's definitely
correct. Completely agree.
not that we're knocking feeding tariffs, but they're not very good. No, good stuff. And what would you
Because
say?
I get lots of customers, they say, oh, we used to get like feed-in tariff around like, 60 cents, 70 cents back in the days. But nowadays, like you get 5 cents, like, come on. It's like, it's not worth it.
No, and to be fair, that's why batteries are so important right now. And you've actually covered a couple of really good things as well there, Sam. Because the fact is, it's 100% from a carbon reduction perspective. Using renewable energy, storing the excess electricity to use during the mornings and evenings makes complete sense because it gives you like you get essentially you can get yourself to net zero that way. And at the same token,
That's right.
because we're having such more extreme weather events occurring, it means it gets super hot, it gets super cold, which means you need to use electricity. And if every single person in your neighborhood, in your community, is turning on their air conditioning or slapping on the
That's right.
heating at the same time, then unfortunately that puts too much overloads the grid, and that results in a blackout. And then when there's a blackout, you have no electricity. So fundamentally,
Exactly.
battery storage is essential just to put just so you can actually have not over the top lifestyle, but more so just have that comfort in your own home when you need it. And it's becoming that's always been critical, but now it's actually more necessary
Absolutely.
than ever.
Absolutely agree with that. Like, solar energy now and battery storage becomes like essential. It's not like luxury anymore, right? It's like, some like cars, laptops, like, phones. This stuff are not like luxury nowadays, right? It is essential stuff. The same for energy, solar energy and storage. It's not a luxury anymore, like for many reasons. And we're gonna be covering that, of course, to our conversations. But having said, it's a huge responsibility for everyone, and it saves you a lot of money, and you actually become like environmental. You save the environment.
No, completely. And look, just delving a little bit more into Sungrow's products. I mean, what before we go into the actual details of what specifically you have, I mean, what makes them so popular? I mean, what would you say is like one or two key reasons why Sungrow is so popular with in the consumer and installer market? Like everyone loves to install and actually have those products in their home and business.
That's a really good question, and the answer is very simple. First of all, is that like our products are covering the wide range of what the customer or the end users want. The safety is a really important part for our products as well, and the customer service and support are an essential part because it's not only like it doesn't end after you buy the product. it it's more important the after sales and the service after installations is what's more even important, right? So on our end, we cover the three basic like parts of the essential needs for the end users, like installers and basically distributors as well. So our products starting from a very small like energy storage and inverters and go up to the utility scale. So as I said earlier, we're not only like a one product or uh, a one product manufacturer. We cover a big range of products in general.
No, and that's obviously from anyone listening or watching this. I mean, that's where you get the peace of mind from, because as you covered, Sam, I mean,
Yep,
it's all well and good to install anything on your home or business or in a much larger application. And at the same token, it's what you're concerned about is if something goes wrong. It's great when it's working, but if something was to go wrong, you want to know,
Agree.
you want to know you're covered. And I think that's one of the key things for you. Not only is it, and look, the other key aspect for Sungrow
And
is
yeah.
it's an affordable
Sorry,
product.
talking about like being covered as well. It's like, Sungrow has been the 100% bankability for the last 4 years. And actually, the only 100% bankability solar inverter manufacturers means that you got yourself covered. So we're not gonna disappear any soon.
Yeah, that's it. If the banks trust you, you got you're doing well.
Exactly. I mean, like it's 100%. This number itself, is fair enough to like let everyone like, oh, I'm gonna go with this product. And the customers who are installed our products and still installing it, they are the big brands in the industry, covering from car brands like warehouses, like all the different brands. They normally go with Sungrow or the big brands because they do a huge research and they spend a lot of money before going with a specific brand because they know that once they go with this brand, they're going to be using it for the rest of their like warehouses or company branches or whatever. All these
Completely.
big companies they went to Sungrow.
No, very good, mate. Well, look, we filmed, as you know, well, of course, because you're a part of it, Renovate or Rebuild recently. So we've got a TV show for anyone who hasn't heard of Renovate or Rebuild. Season 1 was a huge success, came out last
Yeah.
year, won a Banksia Sustainability Award, which was amazing. And season 2 comes out in March, April-ish next year, and on Channel 9 on mainstream TV. And we had some amazing partners featuring on this year's season Renovate or Rebuild, which includes Sungrow. So we had a lot of fun filming that in City, mate. We did some behind the scenes with you when you interviewed as well. You did very, very well.
Thank
Did
you
you?
so much. It was fun actually, yeah.
It's always a lot of fun. I think we had Norm. It was Norm from Norm and Jess, so former block contestants with us hosting, which was amazing. We had a little challenge, we did a little demonstration of how energy storage works using beer. So we won't spoil that. We'll wait for that to come out on show. Hopefully it does. But Sam, tell me a bit about what products you featured on the TV show in that home that we actually filmed.
Okay, for that one, we showed basically, or we featured our hybrid single phase hybrid product that was, or it's being called SH10RS. So, and the same like SH8RS as well, and our residential battery SPR battery. So this product, some of the basic or the main features for this one, and like that's why the customers loves it. And once it's landed in the market, the stock went straight away from our distributor's warehouse. They wouldn't even have time to put it in the warehouse. So the first feature is that it has 4 MPBTs. For people who are not familiar, so what does that mean? It's basically you can oversize the solar capacity by 200% of the inverter capacity. And the second main feature is that you have a whole house backup. So nowhere about like blackouts, nowhere about outage or anything like that. So basically, if there's any blackout, your solar and battery will be like feeding your electricity, feeding your house with battery with energy, sorry, because it powers and back up the whole house. So you don't have to select the specific circuits to back up anymore. So it covers the whole house. And for the storage as well, because the storage is an important part, you can go up to 77 kilowatt hour storage on one battery or on one inverter. Sorry. So just to give you or some statistics on what the average house uses, it's basically between 15 to 20 kilowatt hours a day. So if you're having such a solar system, you are completely covered. So you would never like think if there's going to be a blackout or not. You wouldn't worry about that at all.
Which is absolutely amazing. And as we spoke about earlier about blackouts and potential
Yeah.
hazards that arise from the weather, I mean, it's if you've got a large, a number of batteries or a large battery capacity, then you can store for enough, maybe 2 or 3 days. Not forgetting as well with EVs and the emergence of electric vehicles. When you get home at night time, the solar power, the solar's really gone down, for the day. And so, when you plug your EV in to charge it up, rather than using grid off the mains, you could be using electricity, stored in your own battery, which makes it so.
Exactly.
One thing on the MPPTs, because I know there's if anyone listening or watching, it's each MPPT essentially means you can install panels in a different direction on your roof. So, for example, if you had like a northeast facing roof, and a north, and a northwest, and a west facing roof, you can essentially have an array on each of those. And then, as Sam said, even if the inverter's like a 10 kilowatt inverter, you could have like 15, 20 kilowatts worth of panels, which essentially means as the sun's arcing throughout the morning into the afternoon, different faces of your roof are going to have more white light than others, which means you're maximizing every single moment of the day in terms of capture, and your inverters basically, this particular model is able to like handle that additional load, and then which means it's actually working at 100% as opposed to like kind of traditionally a 70 to 80%. So that's pretty awesome, man.
And it's also one of the main features of this product. It's plug and play, as you have seen during the show already. It's pretty simple installations. Like, it's only a one-man installations. Additionally, it is also like, it, as you've seen already on the site when we did that, it takes less than almost half an hour to install the battery and the solar inverter, right? It's just like, because it's a modular, our battery is a modular battery. So, which means that first of all, you can increase a bit by a bit whenever you want. You don't have to go with that whole specific block of, oh, I have to go either to 10 kilowatt hour storage, or like I don't have other options. With our battery, you can go like, for example, increase up to 3.2 kilowatt hour increments. Like once you start from 6.4 kilowatt hour as the minimum, basically on the single phases.
Which is amazing, and look, and really the question, the recommendation we always make to anyone that comes to our website and asks the question about battery storage is how much battery storage try and install. Well, the great thing about your particular setup and modular batteries is you don't have to go silly at the start. I mean, a lot of people feel they're stuck and trapped into a 13 kilowatt hour battery from the get-go, and that's just not the case. I mean, you can really go with you guys 6.4 kilowatt hours as a starting point. Have a look at your next quarterly bill. See how much electricity you're actually, you're exporting back into the grid, and how much you've obviously stored, and then say, great, well, look, I'm exporting, an average of an extra 3 kilowatt hours a day into the grid, and I'm getting that rubbish, 4 cents, 5 cents, 6 cents feed-in tariff. I may as well add another module to my battery. And as you said, it was just ridiculous how easy it was to do. Like, we're all just stood there in awe, watching the installer just get another module and plug it on and say, there you go.
I think I remember you were having a drink or something, and almost once you finished the drink, everything was set up.
Yeah, it's like,
So it's like, how amazing is that? Because that saves like a lot of cost on each, like, on the end users, on the installers, and like, even on the distributors. They do more sales because they get lots of demand on the product.
No, completely. And once again, and even if you're looking at from a from the economics, I mean, you just save a fortune on installation, because once again, the great thing about solar power is you have really highly trained electricians that come around to your home to install your products and make sure it's obviously done to the highest level, as from a safety point of view. But in this scenario, rather than having to, sort of open up your home again, if you want to upgrade your battery, rather than opening it at home for another 3 or 4 hours, it's literally just a few minutes for a professional to come over, boom, do what he has to do, and it's before you know it, it's you've upgraded your battery storage, and it's only, you probably haven't even sort of finished making your cup of tea. So it's just such a convenient thing to do. And once again, in the future that we're moving into, things have to happen quickly. They have to be economical. They have to be flexible, and they really have to be like tailored to suit each individual's requirements. And that's what's really, sort of great to see in terms of this sort of technology. It's taking all those things into consideration. So very impressive,
That's
mate.
right, and that's what we're trying to do.
Nah, good stuff. So our customers are always looking, for new and cutting edge technology. Is there anything in the pipeline that you can tell us about that Sungrow is releasing?
Oh, I love the questions, Roshan. I love these questions. I mean, we have already, it's not like kind of ruining the surprise, but maybe some people are still there, like, would like to hear about what we're gonna have. For those people who weren't able to attend All Energy in the last 2 weeks.
Yep.
So basically, in addition to the SH10RS that we have displayed already, we have a few other products coming early next year. And this product is going to be 15, 20, and 25 hybrid inverters, three-phase.
Well,
Like lots of customers have been waiting for that. Lots of installers have been asking us for this. And that's how we take this feedback seriously from our customers. Because having said, we take the feedback, we work on it because of that huge R&D team at Sungrow. So we're going to be having 15, 20, and 25. That's when you have a big residential or small commercials, like let's say sites that need a lot of solar and a lot of, let's say, storage. Also, we're gonna be having a battery of 5 kWh per module. That's also very exciting. And one of the most important things as well is that we're gonna be having the EV chargers soon next year. So
fantastic.
customers also have been asking for us to have it in Australia, and we heard we really heard their feedback. We heard to them, and that's gonna be released very soon. So basically, all your house is gonna be 100% Sungrow, 100% renewable, 100% efficient.
Mate, that's so exciting. Do you reckon you'll do panels as well? Don't tell me you have panels too.
No plans for that now, so that's with the big guys in our in the company. I can't say that, but yeah, we like to focus on the brain of the industry because the
Yeah,
solar inverters are basically the brain of the industry. What's managed all the energy management system. It always come from this inverter part of it, like the software, the hardware, and everything. And as you know, every country and even in Australia, every state requires specific standards, and that's what we have been able to do. Once, for example, some states ask for that specific requirements, we've been already ready to go, even before they announce it. So that's why installers and end users love Sungrow. It's ready to go because of our significant and thanks to our huge R&D team and thanks to taking our customers' feedback um, into account.
mate, I love it. And look, really, I think the great thing about when the distinction between having you guys just focusing on inverters, batteries, and now obviously EV chargers, it's so good from a consumer's point of view to be able to pick their own panel because there's just so many great panels out there, and once again, different panels suit different conditions, different budgets, and different aesthetics. So it really
Yep.
is. It gives that customer the ability to choose. It's almost like knowing you got a nice dress, but then you can pick what hat you want to wear with it, right? Or wearing a nice suit and chat and put the tie on, that fit, sort of fits the bill. So
That's right.
it gives you the opportunity, right? And which is fantastic. If
That's
you could, Sam, this is a bit of a random question, but if you're, let's say, R&D chief called you and said, Sam, you know what? Tell me what one product we don't have right now that if we can make for you, you'd love. That'd be the product that you think the world needs to see. What would be the one thing if that you love?
Roshan, that's a really interesting question because as far as I know, I think all the products that I have been thinking of, we already have. So as far as I know, all the products that I was wishing for, it's already we have, solar inverters, batteries, and EV chargers, hydrogen production, wind, manufacturing as well. So EV. So I don't really know if I can think of anything that we don't have yet.
No, and look,
But
and
that
the thing,
we will, it's not about me at this point, so it's about our customers. So we hear the customers' feedback and we work on it, and that's why we are here. So maybe you can tell me, like, what other products that, you are looking from Sungrow, because we already got all of them, I guess.
watch your space. We'll allow everyone to comment away once like this goes. When they see this, and put your comments in there and let us know, and let Sam know what you'd love to see in your home from Sungrow. And I'm sure
Definitely.
that 4,000
Yeah.
strong R&D team will get to work and see what they can do.
Anytime, and that's what I'm saying. The founder of our company, Professor Tao, he is a uni professor, and that's why he adapted like that huge R&D team, because it makes a lot of sense, and it makes a lot of difference for everyone, because technology is, it's changing all the time. So you need to be up to date and one step ahead of the market. And that's what Sungrow has been doing. And that's why our product already has been, like, the footprint of our product is more than, is already being used in more than 150 countries worldwide. And we have more than 20 international subsidiaries that service basically, let's say, all the globe, I guess.
No, I love it, mate. Look, there's with our conversation's gone on, so we're pretty much out of time now, Sam. But look, I appreciate your time today, mate. You've been an absolute legend. Joining us
Thank you so
today.
much, Roshan.
Thank you so much for your time,
No,
and
thank you so much, Roshan.
no, you're very welcome, mate. Thank you. All right, guys. So look, we are out of time on this one, but it's been an absolutely informative and fun conversation there with Sam. We certainly would recommend you explore Sungrow if you have yet to go solar power. And if you have already got solar on your roofs and you did it a long time ago, consider upgrading, consider replacing that current inverter and adding Sungrow and also battery storage. If you haven't gone solar yet, then look, please explore it. Jump onto our website at energymatters.com.au and also go and check out, click the link to get a quote for solar power, and we'll be able to partner you with 3 really good local installers to quote you accordingly. And look, I always ask the question about how much battery storage costs, because I know there has been a little bit of skepticism and concern about how expensive it has been in the past. And as we've discovered in this conversation, things have changed, all right? It's modular, which means you don't have to have a whopping big battery on your wall. You can start small and keep building it up. Other than that, thank you very much for listening or watching today. We appreciate it, and we can't wait to see you till next time. All the best and have a great week. Thank you very much.